See if who gets on. What's up, everybody? It is your good old boy JR coming to you live from Las Vegas, Nevada. I am here as always with my buddy Brandon from Houston, Texas. Brandon, what's going on, my man?
What's going on, man? How you feeling?
I'm good, man. I'm good. It's Friday. It's ready to get this weekend started, but we got a couple things to take care of before we get there. Today, as you clearly see, it is part two of the Jets of their second first round pick. All right, via the Seattle Seahawks. It's kind of funny that the Seahawks are back-to-back days. Who knew? But anyway, so we already did the Jets. We already did the Jets of pretty much almost a week ago. So you can always go back on this channel and check it out and everything. I'll put the link on it and everything. So we made the pick for the first round pick for the Jets. I went Jermaine Johnson. Brandon went Maud Gardner. So we will see how they do, what we decide on the Jets at the end of the video. But today it's all about the Seahawks. Now, this might be one of our quickest videos because the Seattle Seahawks have nothing to work with us, man. It is one of those things where, dude, I can't even talk about their season. I can only talk about their season for so long, and I can only talk about their draft picks for so long and what they did. But let's dive right into it. So, the Seattle Seahawks finished in fourth in a very tough NFC West division, heading 7-10. Now, believe it or not, they were the 16th best offense and the 11th best defense in the NFL. However, when you look at the division that they were in, the Arizona Cardinals, San Francisco 49ers, and the team that eventually won the Super Bowl, the Los Angeles Rams, is kind of see why that they, put it this way, they were the worst team in that division, but not because of talent, but because of everything that was around them and injuries. If they were in the, I'm going to put it out there, if they were in the NFC East, they'd probably take that division. If they were in the AFC South, they'd probably take that division last year. This year, it's going to be a little different, but we'll get into that. So, Seattle Seahawks last year only had 3 draft picks. 3. Count them, 3. 1 in the second, 1 in the fourth, 1 in the sixth. How beautiful is that? Every other even round. If you're wondering what happened to the first round picks, go ask Jamal Adams. Anyway, go ask go ask Pete Carroll how that's working now. Go ahead and ask him. Now, with the 56th pick in the second round that they had, they took a wide receiver. Dwayne Escride, wide receiver out of Western Michigan. Yeah. You had the same face I did when the pick was actually selected, because this kid was slated as a third day pick. But Seattle, sticking to their colors, took a chance on a kid with laid-ups with very, very high risk. And if the risk works out, it's a very high reward. Well, let me tell you how that high risk did. 10 receptions, 64 yards, and 1 touchdown. That's not a game. That's not a game, ladies and gentlemen. That is his whole season. 10 receptions, 64 yards, 1 touchdown. Go ahead, Brandon. It looks like you have a question. Go ahead, man.
I'm trying to. Okay. Maybe because they had 3 picks, and they're like, let's just take something that we like. Maybe. Yeah, there's a reach, but still, it's like you took what you thought you liked. I mean, it's a massive reach, but still, you took what you liked.
When he was projected to go 4th, 5th round, and you take him in the second, yeah, you're gonna get some slack. You're gonna get a lot of slack.
Well, we've been on record and said there's been a lot of general managers that have made up lies and said, well, such and such, you're going to take him as in the next couple picks. So I had to take him. I had to take him at 3. I had to take him at 8. It's like, no, you didn't. If maybe that was kind of one of those things. That was like, well, he might not be the 4th round.
John Schneider believed that if they did not take this kid right there at 56 and he was not going to be available at 137, they got fleeced. They
Bamboozled.
got fleeced.
Bamboozled.
Okay? There's no way. There's no justifiable option for you to believe. For you to make me believe that this kid was so high on your draft board.
Somebody, I mean, listen. Like I said, somebody might have told him, "Hey, we might take him in the next round," and he was like, "No, you're not. We're gonna take him now." So yeah,
All right. That's it gets better. I'll tell you that. It gets better. Fourth round pick, 137. They take a cornerback out of Oklahoma, Trey Brown. 9 tackles, 1 pass deflection. See, this is where I get with Seattle. When you have 3 draft picks, you better hit on all of them. You have to hit on all of them. It's not like if you're the Miami Dolphins or the Philadelphia Eagles, like, well, we got 12 picks, so we can miss on 5 and we can hit on 4, and 3 will be good pieces to our core. You only got 3 chances to do this, and you decided to take a flyer on a kid on a third day round on a third day wide receiver, a cornerback that first of all wasn't even probably supposed to be drafted that high to begin with. Then it gets better. 6th round, pick 208. Russell Wilson has been begging for what, Brandon, for the longest time?
some O-line help.
Well, he got it. Stone Forsythe, the offensive tackle out of Florida. Backup right tackle. He got it. He got it.
And they got it because Russell Wilson was like, "Yeah, I'm out of here." So
Let's get to that. So to give this draft class an F would be an embarrassment to every student that has ever failed any assignment ever in their life.
well, technically, we can't give it incomplete because they drafted these people. We saw them draft these people.
I can't give this draft an F because that would be an insult to every student that ever dropped out of high school, college, and everything.
So what do we want to give it? What do you want to give it? You got to create a new letter.
I mean, I want to give it a Z to Z. Z. Z that this never happens ever again. All right? Because that was terrible. That was terrible. And you were in this, there was no freaking secret that you guys were not in the toughest division last year. And you decided to just say, we're going to blow this draft class because we only got 3 picks. No, those are the picks you got to do your homework. That's a major problem in the scouting department, the urgency of the general manager, and the urgency of one Pete Carroll. That is terrible. That is terrible. But then we're going to get into the regular season here, folks. This was a season for the first time for new Seattle Seahawks fans. I can't say old, all right, because old Seattle Seahawks fans, they already know what pain was like. We're talking about new. You know, the ones that came in when it was the good times, never came into the bad times.
Mm-hmm.
Russell Wilson only played 14 games, and yet he was still their passing leader. 3,113 yards, 25 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. How do you repay him? Not by getting him an offensive line, but you traded him to Denver.
That is a beautiful trade. I mean, hell, it's like stay behind this O-line or go to Denver where you got weapons, you got a defense, you got pretty much everything you started your career with. Give me that.
Yep, give me that. Rashad Penny finally came through for his first-round status as he finally led the team in rushing yards. So he finally came through for that. 749 yards, 6 touchdowns to go along with 6 receptions for 48 yards. So he finally came through for his first-round status. It only took him about 5 years.
Yeah.
But it worked. It worked.
Somewhat, yeah.
Just another pick of Seattle's of Sean Snyder and Pete Carroll saying, I'm smarter than everybody in this room. I'm going to take the running back from San Diego State that nobody wants. but I'll take him.
He was a 2,000-yard rusher. Yes, he was from San Diego State, but he was a 2,000-yard rusher.
Anyway, Tyler Lockett finishes as the leading receiver for the Seattle Seahawks, 73 receptions, 1,175 yards, and 8 touchdowns. Now, you would think, hey, man, let's keep this thing going. Let's just get some Russell Wilson, some offensive line help. Nope. Now Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf must be hating freaking life because they know the best quarterback, the best player in Seattle has left the building. The second best just got picked up by the Rams just a couple days ago.
Well, yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah, yesterday. Yeah.
Well, yesterday. Let's not make it like 2 days or 3 days. It was just yesterday. It was yesterday.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. But what did Pete Carroll do? Sat back and said, "Nah, we got to let you go, man. You know, we just think you're not well anymore. We don't think you're a good player." Apparently, the Rams believe he's worth the commitment for a 5-year, $65 million contract. Apparently, the Rams think that Bobby Wagner still has something left. And the Seahawks said, nah, we're good. We're good. Let's talk about that defense for a second, because it was better than the offense. I will give them that. But take away all the players that they lost, and it's not going to get any better. It is, I hate to say this for the new Seahawks fans, because they probably don't know the word. It is rebuild time in Seattle.
What's that?
That rebuild. It's when everybody leaves and you got nothing. There's nothing. There's no talent. There's only limited talent that you have. But you got no depth. You got no. First of all, the only talent you have on offense now is DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett.
Okay, so only talent you got on offense is Tyler Lockett.
Now, on the defensive side, I'm going to give him props. I am going to give him props, okay? One, Jordan Brooks, he finally lived up to his first-round talent. 184 tackles, 1 sack, 1 fumble recovery. Hey, he's a tackling machine. Now, can he do everything that Bobby Wagner can? Probably not. But it's a good start to a rebuild. Quandre Diggs. Thank God you re-signed him, because he was your interception leader with 5 interceptions, 94 tackles. Thank God you re-signed him, because if not, that would have been another leader.
You'd be screwed.
You'd be screwed. Now, unfortunately, you haven't re-signed your sack leader, Carlos Dunlap, which, by the way, you traded for. And now you're willing to let Carlos Dunlap leave, but you're willing to keep paying Jamal Adams. Sounds good, Pete.
Juan, let it go. I know, let it go, Juan.
Carlos Dunlap, 9 sacks, 34 tackles, 7 pass deflections, and 1 forced fumble. Nobody he ain't nobody. He's just a good pass rushing defensive end that somewhere down the line, some team's going to need a pass rusher, and they're going to pick him up on the cheap end, and you let him walk away for nothing.
Juan. Let it go. It's okay. It's okay. I know.
Then we've already talked about Bobby Wagner leaving. All right, that's one of the free agents that did leave. He's now heading to the Los Angeles Rams. DJ Reed, the guy who played opposite of Quandre Diggs, because Jamal Adams is a box safety, which is another nice word of saying hybrid linebacker.
Linebacker.
He's now heading to the Jets. Gerald Everett, your tight end. Hey, Mike, what's going on, man? Thanks for the support. Thanks for tuning in. Gerald Everett, your tight end, is now heading to the Chargers, which was already filled with offensive glory. is now getting another pass catching tight end. That's great. That's great. Jamarco Jones is heading to Tennessee.
Good God.
Kerry Hyder is heading to San Francisco. And Ethan Pokich is heading to Cleveland. And what did Seattle do to replace all this? Well, they got Uchenna Nwazu, the linebacker from the Chargers. Okay, that's not bad. It's a good little pickup. Quentin Jefferson, the defensive tackle from the Raiders. Okay, yeah. Austin Blythe, the guard from Kansas City that nobody wanted. You picked him up. Artie Burns, who lives up to his last name. You got him from Chicago. And Justin Coleman. Remember Justin Coleman, the first-round cornerback from Cleveland?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, he's heading to Seattle now. Yeah. But don't worry, guys. Don't worry. They re-signed Rashad Penny and Kyle Fuller.
Worry. No worry. No worry. No worry. 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 Please worry.
So go ahead, Brandon. Give me your best shot. What would you give the grade of the Seattle Seahawks offseason so far?
Okay. Remember when I said you got to really have a really terrible season to knock Atlanta and Houston out of the top two picks? I think we just might have found the team that's going to knock them out of the top two picks. I think we just found the team that might knock them out of the top two picks. I think Pete Carroll wanted the team by himself. I don't think he wanted Russell Wilson anymore as his leader, which is okay, which is understandable. But here's the thing. You got to put something out there that is at least okay. Like, listen, when Bill Belichick knew he was losing Tom Brady, he at least got something. He did something. I don't think this is going to be good for Pete Carroll. I think he might get fired next year. Just my opinion. I think he might get fired because we're going to see. I was going to get to the point where they're like, wait, we kept you, but we got rid of Bobby Wagner and freaking Russell Wilson, probably two of the greatest Seattle Seahawks ever. But we kept you. That's stupid. It's just, listen, Paul Allen, the owner of Seattle, yeah, that wasn't a good move.
I would like to know who signed off on this. Who signed off on Pete Carroll being the man in Seattle? John Snyder being the man in Seattle. Because first of all, you let the possible. It's not only just Bobby Wagner and Russell Wilson. It's everything that's been happening for a while.
Mm.
Really dissect everything that has been happening for a while. Earl Thomas said, "Fuck you." Earl Thomas on national TV said, "F you."
We technically don't know who he pointing the middle finger at, but we could all assume.
Oh, I'm calling it right now. He looked over at Pete Carroll and said, "F you." Then you told Richard Sherman, "Nah, man, you ain't got it anymore." That's funny. He went somewhere else, and guess what? Almost won a Super Bowl and built a really great defense for your division rival. The startup of a good defense for your rival. And it's still a good defense, even without him. So then you told Bobby Wagner, you ain't got it anymore. But apparently the Rams disagree. And you traded Russell Wilson to Denver. Something tells me that the Silver Fox is starting to lose his mind a little bit. So all I got to say for Seattle Seahawks fans is this.
It's about to be a bad year. I can tell you
it's going to be a bad year. But you better hope that the man in charge next year is not in control of your picks because, oh, buddy, if this is what he does in rounds 2, 4, and 6, It's gonna be scary, and I've already seen Rashad Penny and Jordan Brooks as their first round picks. Buddy, it might be a long time before Seattle gets back on top of the NFC West. Like, I remember growing up as a kid, the Seattle Seahawks were the doormat of the AFC West. They might become the doormat of the NFC West for a long time if they screw up these draft picks. So, Snyder, Pete Carroll, all I got to say is there's a sniper on your ass, and you better make sure you do good, because if not, it's night-night for you, man. It's night-night for you, both of you guys. So, isn't Pete Carroll the oldest coach in the league? Yeah, he is now, I think. He's up there in age now. So,
I think he's been the older coach in the league.
for a little bit now. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm trying to remember. I think there was somebody older than I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember somebody was older than him. But no, I mean, I think he is the oldest, yeah. And it shows. Looking at his draft class, it shows that he's the oldest coach in the league. So, but I mean, like I said, to the Denver Broncos, it's all kudos to them, because they did their homework. They said, listen, we're gonna risk it for everything. We're gonna go get Russell Wilson. I see he's unhappy. Now, to this day, and I said it yesterday, to this day, I always thought Aaron Rodgers was gonna go to the Denver Broncos. There was just this gut feeling inside me that said, okay, Aaron Rodgers is gonna go to the Denver Broncos, and then everybody's gonna want to try to go to Denver. I truly believe, had Green Bay not thrown in that last minute huge contract, I think we would have seen Aaron Rodgers in a Bronco uniform, but he took the money instead, and that's okay. Get paid while you can. Get paid while you can.
Definitely. He should take the money. Lost his receiver, but he should definitely take the money.
That's a different story. But Denver did the next thing, best thing. They went after the second disgruntled quarterback, Russell Wilson. We knew that this was going to be, ever since the rumors came out 2 years ago that they're not seeing eye to eye. You don't throw that out there and it's like, nah, it's all fake. He's my guy. It's like, no, dude, that shit doesn't get thrown around unless it's really true.
And not only that, the fact that he put out where he wants to get traded last summer, it doesn't make it any better. Like, it's clear as day that the split was coming.
When his agent said, these are the teams I want my client to play for, it was over. Seahawk fans should have just known, we're done. We're done. So, I mean, there's nothing more to say to it other than, listen, the Seahawks, they get a nice haul. Their ninth, Denver's first this year, which is the ninth. Their first next year in 2023. They get number 40 in Denver this year. A second next year. They get a fifth this year. They get Noah Fant, Drew Lock, Shelby Harris. So I guess that's a good way to replace Carlos Dunlap if you're going to go young. I'm not saying that he's a better pass rusher, but he's decent enough to where it won't hurt as much. You get Noah Fant, you get a tight end and double wide receiver duo that could make some noise. And Drew Lock, as of right now, is your starting quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks, which bears the question. I asked you this yesterday, Brandon. You said you will have an answer for me today. Brandon, is quarterback in play for the Seattle Seahawks at number 9?
Yeah, it is. But I don't think you should take a quarterback just because people think that's the right move to do. It's like, dude, you have no offensive line. You have barely weapons offensively. And you have no defense. So you're literally putting this quarterback, if you draft one, in a position where for the next 4 years while you try to rebuild, they're going to be disgruntled. So explain to me why would you draft a quarterback just to lose him in the next 4 years?
I get it. And
and if that's the case,
it would also kind of like, it would also kind of kill me too.
And here's my thing: if that's the case, and you want to just a young quarterback that nobody knows, that nobody has ever seen play, dude, just go get Jordan Love. Like, just go get Jordan Love. If you're gonna take a flyer on somebody, nobody's ever seen really Jordan. He's played one game. Like, he didn't know what the hell he was doing. Go get Jordan Love from Green Bay. and that's your starting quarterback for the next couple of years. If that's what you're saying, because let's be real, Jordan Love has been in the league for how long now? 4
This
years?
will be his third, I
30 years?
believe.
Third
Yeah.
year? Okay. You literally have been on this show yesterday, to be exactly, saying, I saw another Drew Lock to know Seattle's screwed. So why not go get somebody that's only played one game? They pretty fairly well against Kansas City. It wasn't like a bad game. And just build with him. Like, it makes no sense to drive a quarterback if that's the case. Just to be like, in 4 years, he's going to be telling everybody, just like Russell Wilson, I want out. Just go get a guy. Just go trade for Jordan Love in the draft or Baker Mayfield, whichever one you want to do. I personally would go get Jordan Love. I've seen too much on Drew Lock and Baker Mayfield to know this ain't good for them. Like this NFL is not good. Jordan Love, at least you have somewhat of an understanding that something can be there.
At least you'll get to see the full effect. And
that is.
now at that point, if Jordan Love could not beat out Drew Lock, then it's over.
Yeah.
It's over. But and to Mike's credit, he believes that they're going to get rid of DK and Tyler Lockett. Do you see that happening sometime in the future? I can see Tyler Lockett. I'm going to be honest with you. I can see Tyler Lockett, but go ahead.
I think DK will want out. I think DK is going to ask out for out. I think Tyler Lockett is getting too old, so they're going to just let him go. That's the only way I see Tyler Lockett leaving, because you're not trading Tyler Lockett. Like, nobody's going to trade for Tyler Lockett. That's like trading for Randall Cobb now. Like, what the hell is the point? Just wait till he's a free agent and sign him if that's what you want.
I want to say Randall Cobb, because Randall Cobb's a little bit older. I would say it's more like Brandon Cooks. Like, just wait till he gets a free agent. Why trade for him right now? Wait till he's a free agent and then pick him up.
Yeah, but I think DK Metcalf is going to get to the point where he just wants out. And I think DK Metcalf is like, dude, I've already been here, 3 years? 3 years. And my contract is coming up eventually.
His contract's up at the end of this year. Remember, don't forget, he was a second-round pick. So he doesn't have that luxury of a fifth-year option.
Oh, yeah. So technically, it's like, dude, just trade me. Like I said this yesterday with the Jets. I said, when I was talking about the Jets yesterday, I said, I can see DK Metcalf saying, I want to go to New York. I can see DK Metcalf saying, I want to go to the Giants or the Jets. It can happen. Patriots, because the Patriots need a number one.
Well, I actually got word just before the show that I guess the Patriots are talking to Odell Beckham Jr. today. So we'll keep updating on that. But that's all I heard, that they were just talking. There's no visits. There's nothing like that. There's just all talks with him and his agent.
I mean, listen. Like I said, they need a number one. And Odell's been trying to get to New England for years. So it's not like – so it isn't just the Tom Brady effect. Like, he clearly knows if I go to New England, something good is going to happen. But you got to also –
and that's the thing I do want to bring up what Mike said. But go ahead, Brandon. I'll bring up his thing.
No, go ahead.
So, it's true. Yes, DK is on the last year of his rookie deal. He's not going to resign. Might as well get something. Okay, he doesn't have to resign anything. But the problem is, which I hate to this day, is the franchise tag. The franchise tag to me should have been eliminated. It should be eliminated. It should be in the next CBA, like, get rid of the franchise tag. Nobody wants to play on that tag. And the thing is this. We're seeing a lot of players now that get tagged, and they're like, no, I'm not going to do it.
I'm not doing it. And that's where I'm starting to, like, I think that's the only way you kind of get rid of the franchise tag. Your players just like, you can franchise tag me, but I'm still not playing for you.
Understand this. Le'Veon Bell did it first.
Yep.
When Devontae Adams got tagged, he said, no. And not only that, Green Bay was about to pay him $31 million a year, and he said, not doing it. You disrespected me like that? Get me out of here. The only reason you want me now is because you got your quarterback back.
And on top of that, Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill said, nah, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, he was like, you guys want to franchise tag me? I'm not taking the franchise tag. Like, either trade me or pay me. Which one do you want to do?
And now here's a fourth one. David Njoku today said, I know you tagged me about a month ago. I'm not doing it. So trade me. I think for the next CBA, and this is just me, I think all the players should come together and put in a word in there saying, no more franchise tag. If you can't come up with a deal with your free agents, let them hit the market.
Yeah.
Because why are you going to hold a player hostage to a contract he doesn't want to play for? And two, why are you going to hold him to get more money somewhere else because you don't want to pay?
And here's the thing, like the most perfect example of a franchise tag going wrong is Kirk Cousins. It's like Washington franchise tagged this man 3 consecutive years. When he finally hit the open market, it was kind of like, we've already seen what you can do in Washington. We're going to pay you, but it's just like, dude, you're not going to get us anywhere. And he hasn't. And he hasn't.
Like, understand this. Kirk Cousins was brought in because Minnesota went to the NFC Championship game, and they said, if we have Kirk Cousins, we can get back.
And they haven't been back since.
They haven't been back since then.
Have they even made the playoffs, once?
Once.
Yeah, that's terrible. That's bad.
So, for me, it's like this. For DK Metcalf, I have a feeling that they're going to tag him, but I think he's going to just follow the same route. Like, you know what? Tag me, but I'm not going to play.
Yeah, I don't.
So you might as well trade me. You might as well trade me and get something.
I don't think that's why I feel like Seattle is in a very. That's a rebuild. Like, just get rid of the kid, let him go do what he wants to do, because you're not going to keep him. Like, clearly he's gonna. I
can understand why the owners and the general managers use it as an advantage, because, like, okay, we're going to tag you, but I'm going to get something out of it. But at that point, the thing is, if you tag somebody, unless he's like really, really good, you're not going to get that much out of him. Like, understand this: the Jets only offered a second. Had Miami not come in and said, "I'll throw in a first," Tyreek Hill might be heading to the freaking Jets right now. Had Miami not throw in that first round pick.
They said he had to agree to getting traded. I don't know.
Exactly. So, and understand, his only two markets he was going to, New York, and Miami.
Yep.
So, understand this. Understand this. Had Miami not thrown in that first round, all you were going to get from the Jets was a second round pick. So,
and Tyreek Hill is way better than DK Metcalf.
So what do you think What do you think you're going to get for DK Metcalf? Early third, maybe late second.
Some caramel popcorn and some cotton candy.
So let's be real for a second. Is the franchise tag worth it? I say no. I say if a team can't come up with a deal, you can try to re-sign him while he's on the market.
I feel like, listen, I think Seattle, I think Seattle's screwed. Regardless, I don't think that they understand. Like, DK Metcalf is already starting to talk about like Russell Wilson leaving and already his plans of what he's gonna do. So it's already kind of like, dude, y'all might as well just go ahead and get ready for next year because he's gonna ask for a trade. Or mid-season.
I can not that he's a bad player. It's just he doesn't want to play for you anymore because, like, dude,
I don't want to
get something. And all you had to do was give the man, the head of the household, one thing, and you said, "I'd rather trade you away and rebuild this all over again."
Literally, here's the thing, man. It's nobody wants to be in a rebuild when you have absolutely freaking nothing. Like, as much as we clown and we laugh about it, Deshaun Watson could have went to Atlanta, but then he would have been in a rebuild for 3 years because people are literally saying Atlanta's team is as worse as the Houston team you were trying to get traded from. So it's literally like you're putting yourself in a position where you're in a rebuild with a team that you don't even trust that can actually create another team like the previous one you came into. So it's kind of like stupid to say, listen,
yeah,
it's stupid for them to franchise tag a player like DK Metcalf because if you think he's really that good, if you think you get something for him, trade him. It's very simple. I mean, there's a lot of teams that probably would want a DK Metcalf in a sense. You telling me Baltimore wouldn't take a DK Metcalf right now?
Baltimore, Green Bay, Kansas City,
Philly,
Tennessee, Philadelphia,
Atlanta.
Yeah, that's 35 teams right there.
Atlanta, like,
let's be real. The Saints. You don't think you need another wide receiver?
I don't want DK Metcalf. I personally don't.
You don't think you guys need a wide receiver right now?
I agree, we need a wide receiver, but I don't want DK Metcalf. I've seen enough of DK Metcalf to be like, yeah, I'm good.
There's a lot of teams out there that need
the Giants, Jets,
Giants,
Detroit. Like it's Chicago. Like it's a lot of teams that can take a DK. San Francisco. Like it's a lot of teams. Cincinnati. Well,
don't get me wrong. We're not going to disrespect Debo Samuel, but it'd be nice if he gets some help.
Cleveland. Like, it's a lot of teams. It's a lot of teams. Raiders. Y'all can always use a weapon. I mean, you see what I'm saying? It's a San Diego, like the Chargers. It's a lot of teams.
Well, no, I think San Diego's pretty comfortable with Mike Williams. I think they would love a DK Metcalf, but I think they're pretty much comfortable with a Mike Williams and a Keenan Allen combo. I think they're already pretty comfortable.
Hell, I mean, if you're Denver, if you're Russell Wilson, you're like, why not go get DK Metcalf back? Like, why not?
Yeah, I'll give you Jerry Jeudy. Let's do a switch right fucking now.
Why not? Like, it's a lot of teams. There's like 13, 14, 15 teams that can literally take a DK Metcalf.
Right now, definitely.
Right now. Like, literally, physically.
Yeah,
right
exactly.
now.
The Packers. Yeah, I'm sure the Packers would love DK Metcalf right freaking now.
And if you don't want to trade them in conference, okay. We can literally map out an entire AFC that could literally Cleveland, Ravens, Pittsburgh,
Tennessee,
Houston. Hell, the Colts. The Colts can always use weapons. Colts.
Jacksonville.
Clearly.
I mean, understand this.
Listen.
Understand this. DK Metcalf is still young enough that every team would, 31 of the franchises would at least be intrigued to try to get him.
Listen, the entire AFC South and maybe even the East will want DK Metcalf. And 3 teams in the AFC North, 3 teams in the AFC East, the whole AFC South. It's like the entire AFC will want DK Metcalf.
So, I mean, and we laugh about it, but it's like, why would Pittsburgh want him when they got Deontay Johnson and Chase Claypool? Because DK Metcalf would improve their offense immediately. So, understand this. The Seattle Seahawks are between a rock and a hard place. You're going to have disgruntled players. Tyler Lockett's getting older, and he's all, dude, I'm not up for this. And for the people that are going to be up there and they're going to watch the show later, like, well, DK Metcalf's young. He should honor his contract. And he is. This is his last year.
Technically, yeah.
So if he's already thinking about talking to other teams, then let him play this year.
I personally, this is what I would do. Me personally, I will call Lamar Jackson, since you're your own agent. I will call him and say, listen, the only way I will come, tell the Ravens, I will come to them if they pay you your money.
If they commit to you,
I would do whatever I need to do. I would do whatever I need to do to get to the Ravens.
But you're saying if the Ravens commit to Lamar Jackson, basically.
To Lamar Jackson.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much the only way.
And I would do
we're not even at Baltimore yet, and that's going to be a discussion that's going to be brought up. Is Baltimore even committed to Lamar?
And it's the same thing I would call Jalen Hurts in Philly and say the same damn thing. Until they say they're fully committed to you, tell them the only way I will come to Philly is if they say they're fully committed to you. That's it. Because Philly, you need a receiver. Yeah. I don't know if you know that, but you need a receiver.
Yeah, it's true. But I mean, and we'll get to DK later. I mean, I know this much. I know Tyler Lockett. He's going to be the first one go. This is it for DK. And here's the thing about DK. Well, this is kind of the funny thing about the market that happened this year. Christian Kirk screwed the market for all the owners down the road. Because here are the names that are going to hit free agency next year for wide receiver. DK, AJ Brown, Hunter Renfrow. Those are just 3 names. Those are just 3 wide receivers that are going to hit the market next year. You don't think they're looking at each other like, I know I'm better than that motherfucker. I know I'm better.
Who in Jacksonville was like, we're gonna sign to an amazing contract. The 3rd best receiver in Arizona. That's what we're gonna do.
I'm pretty sure
he's the 3rd best receiver on the depth chart. He's literally like the 4th best catcher on the team. Yeah. It's like.
And here's the thing. Well, I'm pretty sure Hunter Renfrow didn't say, I know I ain't better than that mother. I'm pretty sure he looked at it and he goes, well, gee, golly gosh, I know I can play better than him. Because I have a feeling he doesn't curse. I just have that weird feeling he doesn't curse. And it's like, dude, you got to be kidding me.
So he's Shaggy from Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, Good gosh. Like,
So he's Shaggy from Scooby
he's
Doo.
like you ever see the Dave Chappelle when he did the whole switching families and everything?
Yeah, yeah.
And he was the white dad. It's like, dude, that's exactly what I have a feeling that
Timeouts.
yeah.
Timeouts.
Yeah. Time out! Like,
Timeouts.
dude, I'm pretty sure that's how he talks. But look, for DK, all I can tell him is this. If you're planning to go, you gotta do it. I would stay this year and give Seattle hell next offseason. Be like,
I,
dude, if you're gonna put me on the tag, cool. Guess what that means? I
I,
still ain't coming.
I will pull a Devontae Adams.
Because the
I
thing
will
is this.
I
Here's
I
the
will
thing that
pull
players don't understand about the tag, and that I can't believe it took this long for players to understand the tag. You get tagged, it's
you don't
all
play. You don't have to
it's
play.
half.
Yeah.
Half of that is guaranteed. The other half is you have to show up and play. So you don't have to show up. Like, understand this. When Le'Veon Bell did his thing, people are like, man, he lost out on a lot of money. No. The franchise tag at that time for running backs, at that time, I believe, was like 14 million.
Yeah.
He got 7 million of that guaranteed. 7 million. And all he had to do was just chill out and say, I'm not going to play unless you give me a contract. And they still had to pay him. So understand this. Understand, even though you got tagged, you still have options. So we'll leave it at that. But now
it can backfire. It can backfire like it did on Le'Veon Bell with James Conner kind of like took over for a second. But
or sometimes it could help out. It can work out in your favor. You get to play with your old college roommate.
like I said, if I was DK Metcalf, I will buy a house in either Baltimore or Philly
And just see how it goes.
and just see how it happens.
But other than that, it is now time to make the selection for the New York Jets. They are number 10, and they are on the clock. So, Brandon, with the 10th pick of the draft, who do you think the card – what name is the commissioner going to read off that card to round up the top 10 in this year's draft?
All right. I could have won so many places. I just want to say, I could have won so many damn places for the Jets. It's so easy to. It's so easy to. But with the number 10 pick in the 2022 draft, the New York Jets select Drake London, receiver from USC. The reason why I took Drake London is because, good God, do they need receivers? Lord Jesus. We just spoke on like two receivers that the Jets was literally trying to – one in particular, Tyreek Hill was in the conversation for being a Jet for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
You just literally said if Miami didn't throw in a one, he probably would be a Jet right now. And this would be a way different conversation. But other than that, Tyreek Hill was one that we've literally said that could have been a Jet. We've even just threw out DK Metcalf. If the Jets really wanted to, they could probably trade something to get him, maybe. But I think the Jets go receiver here because they lost Jamison Crowder. We really don't know what Corey Davis really is. Is he a one? Is he a two? Is he just a slot? Like, we don't know what the hell he is because he's always hurt. Mm-hmm. That's how bad it is. We don't know what he is because he's hurt. Like, it's and Barrios got injured last year. Braxton Barrios got injured last year. He couldn't even play. So you need to cover yourself with receiving. You need to cover yourself as much as you can with the receiving core. And Drake London,
I gotta show love to my Miami guys, man.
as close as this is, I think they need to go receiver here. I don't listen. We already took Garrett Wilson off the board. I think he's the best receiver, but a lot of people think Drake London would have been picked forward with the first Jets pick. I think he gets picked here. I think he gets picked with the Jets, but I think he goes 10th. And it kind of is like deja vu. A couple years, like 1998, 99. They drafted Keyshawn Johnson, another USC Trojan receiver. Not saying Drake London is Keyshawn Johnson, but hell, hey, they came from the same college. We shall see how this all plays out. So I got Drake London going to the Jets.
I like it. And I can understand the reasoning for it. We don't know about the health. Health is always an issue, and especially when it comes to the wide receivers of the Jets. I'm going to say this much. This wide receiver class is loaded. Like really, I want people to really understand the wide receiver class in this year's draft. It is loaded. From first to fourth to even fifth round, you could probably find a good wide receiver. That's just how deep this draft class is, and and there's the wide receivers that aren't even getting any love, and I think they should.
Mm.
Christian Watson from North Dakota State University, Jalen Tolbert from South Alabama, Eric Usugarimi from Texas Tech, David Bell from Purdue, Sky Moore. You see where I'm going with this? See where I'm going with this? There's just a lot of wide receivers out there that, hey man, if you're the Jets, I think the biggest problem with the Jets, and we talked about it in the 4th episode, it's that defense. They need help on defense. You're ranked 32nd. You need all the help you can get. And see, here's the beauty thing about the Jets. The names I just mentioned to you, and there's going to be some wide receivers that do fall out of the first round.
Yeah.
It could happen.
Yeah.
It could happen. Why? Because it's just so deep. There's only 32 teams. Some of you are going to have to fall, and some of you might even fall to the Jets. So if I'm the Jets, if you were willing to give up a second for Tyreek Hill, you could wait into the second to get a wide receiver, in my opinion. Now, I think it's funny. You went corner number 4 for the Jets. I'm going to go corner number 10 for the Jets. They need help at corner. That's not even an issue. The problem is I can't give them the number 1 corner because Gardner's already gone. He's gone. So we can forget all that. But I could give him a corner who believes he's the number 1 corner in this draft class.
Oh, wow.
And I say, why not?
Wow.
He's healthy. He's ready to roll.
I mean, he might as well be healthy. I mean, he didn't play all damn year for us.
So you know where I'm going. So for me, for the 10th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, I believe the New York Jets will select Derek Stingley Jr., cornerback out of LSU. That's right. If we're going to go big for the Jets, if we're going to help them on defense, we got to help them everywhere. We got to help them everywhere. Listen, to me, I think this would be perfect. You get, to me, the best pass rusher in the draft in Jermaine Johnson at 4. You get the second best corner in the draft at number 10. That immediately should shift your defense listen, you can't get worse than last year. Those 2 names are only going to help you go up. That's it. That's it. You cannot finish 30. If you finish 32 again, you gotta go. I'm sorry. 2 years. You gotta go. You gotta go. You just weren't the guy. You gotta go.
Listen, I love the pick, but I think this is why I think they're not gonna draft Derek Stingley. You already drafted an LSU player that thought he was the best in the damn draft, and it backfired. This is why you got the damn pick. This is literally the reason why you got the pick. like I love LSU. That's my team. But same thing. Like Jamal Adams came in with this idea. Like, I'm the best player in the damn draft. You don't draft me, you're out of like. And it's the same thing I'm feeling with like Derek Stingley in a sense. It's like you kind of got that same like chip. Like, dude, you didn't play at all last year. It's a reason why you failed down draft boards. It's like
my thing for it is this. If that was the case, then at that point, no LSU player will ever go to New York.
Yeah.
If that's the case, the Raiders will never select another linebacker from Alabama ever again.
Or a quarterback from LSU.
You see what I'm saying? So understand the situation at hand. You need cornerback help.
But this is also,
and understand this. The wide receiver depth in this draft is a whole lot deeper than the cornerback class. Because after you get to a certain corner, you're going to look at it and be like,
But here's the thing: we both drafted cornerbacks for the Jets. I just drafted the best one. I was like, I'm going sauce right out the gate. I was like, the Jets need, and that's what I'm thinking. Like, I think Robert Salaire is not going to go for a big name, and that's why I'm like, he's not going to go for somebody that thinks that he's already the best. Like, no, you got to come in and play with us.
It's going to be a tough sell for Jets fans to get along the Derek Stingley train, but let me tell you this. You're really going to sit there and you're going to pass up a two-time first-team All-SEC 2019 and 2020? You're going to pass up a consensus All-American in 2019?
You're telling me all the numbers already. No, Juan. I know he's great. I know he's good. I know he can cover. I know he's a man that's on an island by himself. I know this already.
You might know this, but outside world might not know this.
But and that's what I'm feeling like. I don't know, man. It's just like, I don't know. I don't think the Jets. That's why I'm like, the Jets are not going to go for something that is like that flashy. The Giants? No, that's a different conversation.
They need flashy. The Giants need flashy because they're, the Giants.
That's why I feel like the Jets are like more different.
But I don't think they're going to go for Jets. Put it this way. In my universe, if the Jets were to get Jermaine Johnson with the 4th overall and Derek Stingley with the 10th, I'm going to put it to you like this. They're not going to finish 32. I'll tell you that right now. That front four is going to look amazing, and you finally have a corner now.
I agree.
And don't forget, Marcus May is now in that defensive backfield group. So I'm just saying, if you're going to go big, you might as well take your baller at 4 and Jermaine Johnson, take the dude, and then get your guy to have a prime year at corner.
I have said this. I took Sauce Gardner, so I have a cornerback for the Jets. I just think they need more weapons for Zach Wilson because they have no idea what the hell that offense is.
They have nobody. Deep draft class in this wide receiver group.
I agree.
They could get a first-rounder wide receiver in the 2nd round. You're not going to get that at corner in rounds 3 and 4. You got to do it. You're going to have to do it now.
I agree. I agree. Listen, that's a good pick. I just think the Jets are just like, I don't know. Robert Salaire, he just feels different. I don't know. We shall see.
He's got a different attitude, but you know what? I think he's going to be defense all the way because I think they focused on the offense last year and they did an amazing job. Now let's focus on that defense and let's get this bad boy running. Yeah. Let's get this defense to a Robert Salaire defense we all know and love. Fast, physical, tenacious. That's what the Robert Salaire defense that I know. So we'll see. We'll see. But other than that, that is going to do it for today's pick. Tomorrow, we have a fun one. The Commanders. You know, the team in Washington. If you haven't heard, they got a new football name.
They have a new quarterback. Broken Wentz.
Yeah, they got a new quarterback.
Broken Wentz.
Carson Wentz is there.
Broken Wentz.
Quarterback. Now, I cannot wait to see what you think they're going to do because Washington at 11, they can go. Oof, I'm already losing in the polls. I like Brandon's 2 picks for the Jets. It's all right.
I told you. You won the Seattle pick. Come on, let me have this.
That's all right, fine. You can have this one. You can have this one. That's fine. I'm just saying. I
get it, though. I understand. You're like, let's build the defense of the Jets. That's why I went with Sauce Gardner first. I was like, that makes sense. But then the Jets have no receivers. Like, none. Like, Corey Davis is always hurt. Like, Barrios, you expect to be there. But if he isn't, it's like, dude, do you have any weapons for Zach Wilson?
Oof, that's going to be tough. Let's see how that goes. But tomorrow, it's all about Washington. Let's see how they do. Let's see if we can try to help them out because, you look at the names that are on this roster. That's okay, Mike. Not everybody loves a winner. That's okay. But, you look at the names of Washington and you say to yourself, how are you not dominating this division? They got some really nice names up in there in Washington. I know. I saw them play live this offseason, this past year. They came to Vegas. and they look good. They have some nice names. You don't believe me? Tune in to tomorrow's episode. You'll see the names I'm going to tell you. Tune in tomorrow. All right, these guys have some nice names, but I just think what it is, it's just inconsistency on the offensive side. And that's where Brandon comes in, and he said, listen, they're going to swing the fences for Carson Wentz. How pissed do you think they were to know that just 24 hours later, Deshaun Watson got cleared of all charges? I will say this. If Deshaun Watson ended up in Washington, done.
Yeah, you could go ahead and cancel Christmas for Dallas, the Giants, and Philly.
Like, done. We're
It's
good.
not even a conversation.
But Carson Wentz coming in, now we get to have a nice conversation about Carson Wentz because now it's open competition for the NFC East. So we'll explain all that tomorrow. But it is. I think it is. I think it's open competition. Now, I do want to thank everybody for tuning in. Mike, thank you for your awesome support. I want to thank everybody on Instagram Live that tuned in. And I want to thank everybody that is going to watch this video later on. Thank you for all the support and all the nice comments that you guys leave. Tomorrow, it's all about Washington. Brandon, as always, thank you, my man, for tuning and joining as always. We have the Washington Commanders are now on the clock. What will they do with the 11th pick overall?
Trade it. No.
Well, we can't do trades, so we got to go all the way through. We can't do no trades. So, unfortunately, we got to go all the way through. But for everybody else,
trade wins.
Nah, they just got him. They're not going to do it.
Release Wentz.
They just got him, Brandon. Let it go, man. Carson Wentz is the quarterback to watch. Let it go. It's over, man. It's over. But other than that, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. We will see you all tomorrow. Peace. Let's see here. Bam.